Every single morning, millions of dog owners step out their front door and immediately get dragged down the street by an animal that weighs a third of what they do. You pull back, the dog pulls harder. You yell, "No!" The dog ignores you. You get home frustrated, with a sore shoulder. Your dog gets home wired and overstimulated. And tomorrow, it happens all over again. What nobody tells these exhausted owners is that your natural instinct to pull back tightly against the leash is the single worst thing you can possibly do. Before we fix this, you need to hear the truth. Your dog is not pulling to dominate you. They are not trying to be the alpha of the walk. When you pull back against a dog, a hardwired neurological response kicks in. It's called the opposition reflex. Their nervous system automatically forces them to push against the resistance. They aren't choosing to fight you. Their biology is doing it for them. Furthermore, that brief tug of war creates high arousal, and an aroused dog pulls harder, not less. Welcome to Dog Behavior. Today, I am going to give you a definitive 4-component system that permanently stops leash pulling. It goes against every instinct you have. But listen closely. Component number 4 is the step that 90% of owners skip entirely, which is exactly why their dogs start pulling again a week later. Do not miss it. Component 2, the stop and stand, the foundation. Component number 2, this is the foundation of the entire system, and I will warn you right now, this is the piece that 80% of owners give up on too early, because it feels painfully slow. It is slow, but it works. The rule is absolute. The microsecond the leash goes taut, you stop. You do not slow down. You do not say, "Leave it." You do not pull back. You plant your feet and you become a statue. You become an immovable object. Your dog will likely continue pulling. Some dogs will lean into the harness for 30 seconds. Stubborn dogs might pull for 2 straight minutes. Do not move. Do not engage. Remember the equation? Pulling equals forward movement. You are now starving that equation. Do not move. Do not engage. Remember the equation? Pulling equals forward movement. You are now starving that equation. The moment the exact fraction of a second that the leash goes even slightly slack, or your dog turns their head to look back at you, you mark it. Say a clear yes, and immediately take 3 quick steps forward. Forward movement is the reward. Expect your first 3 walks to feel like a complete failure. You might only cover 50 meters in 20 minutes. You will feel ridiculous standing on the sidewalk. You are not failing. You are fundamentally restructuring a neurological pathway. The science, research published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior, tracked dogs trained with this exact no forward movement protocol. The results? They showed a massive reduction in leash tension within just 8 sessions, entirely outperforming dogs trained with painful collar corrections. It is slow at the start, so it can be permanent at the end. Component 3, the unpredictability factor. Once your dog understands that pulling stops the walk, we introduce the psychological weapon. Component number 3, the change of direction. You use this specifically in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the walk. Why? Because when you first step outside, your dog's nervous system is flooded with arousal. Every smell, every sound is a trigger. Their attention is entirely focused outward. Here is how you force that attention back onto you. The moment the leash goes taut, instead of stopping dead, you pivot 180 degrees and march in the exact opposite direction. No warning, no command, no clicking your tongue. You just turn and walk. The dog attached to the leash has exactly 2 options. Hit the end of the leash and be turned around by the front clip harness, or follow you. When they run to catch up with you, and they will, because following is the only way to keep moving, praise them. The ethology behind it. This does something the stop and stand cannot do. It makes you the most unpredictable element in the environment. In a pack, a follower who doesn't know which direction the alpha is going cannot afford to stare at a tree. They have to keep one eye on the leader at all times. This builds active attention. Some professional trainers use the first 5 minutes of every walk exclusively as a change of direction drill before actually going anywhere. Bridge. If you stop here, your dog will stop pulling, but they won't be trained, because stopping a bad behavior is only half the job. You have to build the good one. And that leads us to component number 4. The step almost everyone skips. The step that actually teaches your dog what you want them to do. Component 4. The big reveal. Building the good behavior. Component number 4. This is the step most owners skip entirely. They focus 100% of their energy on stopping the bad behavior and completely forget to build the good one. But a dog that isn't pulling is not necessarily a dog that knows what you want. You have to show them. The position you are building is called the loose leash position. Your dog does not have to be in a strict, military-style heel. They do not have to be glued to your left leg. The only requirement is that the leash hangs in a relaxed U shape between you and their harness. Here is how you lock this behavior into their brain forever. Every 30 to 40 seconds that they maintain that loose leash, you mark it, yes, and deliver a high-value treat. You do not have to stop walking. You do not have to make a big production out of it. Simply drop the treat to the ground beside you without breaking your stride. As the behavior becomes reliable, you use the most powerful psychological tool in animal training, variable reinforcement. You thin the rewards out. Reward at 60 seconds, then at 90. Then variable, sometimes at 30 seconds, sometimes at 2 minutes. This is the exact same psychology that makes slot machines addictive. The dog never knows exactly when the payout is coming, so they maintain the good behavior constantly in anticipation. Now, let's talk about the real world, because things will go wrong. Here are the 3 situations where owners fail and how to survive them. Situation 1. Another dog appears. Your dog surges forward, the leash goes taut, but you freeze because you don't want to make a scene in front of the other owner. Stop anyway. If the other dog is too much of a distraction, you use the threshold principle. Add distance, cross the street, turn around. Work at a distance where your dog can still make good decisions. Never, ever let a pulling surge toward another dog succeed. Situation 2. Regression. Your dog has been walking beautifully for 3 days, and suddenly on Thursday, they start pulling like a freight train again. This is normal. Learning is not linear. Bad days do not erase good ones. Simply go back to more frequent rewards, simplify the environment, and hold your ground. Regression is not failure. Situation 3. The other handler. Your partner, your kids, or your dog walker takes the dog out, and they do not follow the system. They let the dog pull. This is the number 1 reason leash training fails. A dog who has learned that pulling doesn't work with you will pull freely with anyone who lets it work. The system only functions if it is consistent across every single person holding that leash. A dog that pulls for one person but not another hasn't been trained, they've just figured out who the weak link is. Go back to the 4 components. Equipment that removes the mechanical advantage. The stop and stand that removes forward movement as a reward. The change of direction that builds active attention. And variable reinforcement to reward the U-shape. Done consistently across every walk, with every handler, this system produces an entirely different dog within 4 to 6 weeks. Not a dog that just tolerates the walk, but a dog that respects the leader holding the leash. If this video gave you the exact system you have been missing, do not keep it to yourself. Share it right now with someone who comes home from every walk more tired than their dog. Subscribe to Dog Behavior, because every week we break down the practical, science-backed knowledge that actually changes behavior. Get the right harness, hold your ground, and I'll see you in the next video.